If you want a weather system in your game that actually looks good and is easy to control, this is probably the simplest way to build one in Roblox Studio. I'll show you how to set up a modular system where each weather type can have its own lighting, atmosphere, and effects. So instead of rebuilding everything every time, you can just tweak values and add new weather easily. And also one setup choice later on that makes adding and modifying new weather types way easier. Here is what the end product looks like. And of course you can change how often the weather changes. It's only this fast so you can see the effects and the functionality. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and also leave a comment for things you'd like to see me make in the future. I'll also explain the benefits of channel membership later in the video if you're interested in getting extra help with scripting. So yeah, let me begin now. First things first, we want to go through everything that you'll need inside of the Explorer. Inside of the starter player scripts, you want a local script called client effects. Inside of server script service, you want a server script called initializer, and you want a module script called weather handler. In replicator storage, you want another module script called weather data, and then two folders for assets and remotes. Inside of these, you want two remotes in the remote folder called onJoin and weather, and inside of assets, you can add a folder for audio. I will show you how to add audio later on. I haven't actually added it into the script, but I'll have a section to show you how to add it. Inside of the workspace, you want a folder called weather effects, and this is how you're going to do the environmental effects for like rain and for snow, or whatever else you decide to add, maybe like sand. So these are just two parts with a bunch of particle emitters inside of them. I took these from the toolbox, well, the particles at least. And yeah, you just want to have a part above your map and then put the effect in it. There are multiple methods to actually make particle effects and environmental effects follow you. For example, it can follow you, and that's mainly used if you've got like a really big map. For example, like Deep Ocean, you would probably use something like that. But this is fine, it's not too bad on performance because you're going to do the effects client side anyway. So you can just find these in the toolbox, and well, or you can make them yourself if you want to. I'm not going to go through that exactly. It's just particle emitters with an effect, and then you make them go down. So yeah, now let's actually get to the scripting. The first thing is this module script, which inside of here, you're going to have all the different weather types you can have, and you're going to make each one have different values or different things. So you can change all of these to whatever you want, and with this, we're going to be able to easily change how the environment looks without any extra code really. So if you want partially cloudy, you change the cover to 1, and this is for the durations of the things to the left, and also for the cover and stuff, that's for the terrain. So make sure you also add clouds inside of your terrain. So you can add as many as you want here, and as I said before, if you want something like sand, then you just copy this. Or you saw it actually filled out thunderstorm. Roblox decided to, yeah. So yeah, if you want like sand storm or something, then you'd fill this in, and you would just change the durations and the density and the cover and stuff. And yeah, you'd also have a new effect in here that you'd want to add if it's a sandstorm, for example. Now, one thing I want to add here, if you're going to make audio as well, you want to add a new one. So you want to add has sound, false, and then you also want to say where the sound is. So for example, that's for rain, so I'll go down to rain. I'll make the rain one. I'll add has sound. You want to add has sound to all of these if you're going to do audio. So add has sound to all of them, and only the ones that actually have sound you obviously want to add that to. I mean, you want to change this to only ones that have sound. So for rain, we'll change this to true because now it has sound. And then you do another one, which is exactly like that. Sound is equal to replicate storage dot sounds dot rain. That's not right. Sounds dot audio dot rain. There we go. Now, you just want to add new audios for all the other ones that you want to actually have audio. And yeah, that's basically all that you want inside of here. And now we can move on to the next script, which is the server script. This one was mainly just for testing, so you don't actually need to have this game.plays.player added thing. However, if you want to have something happen if the player is added, or you want something else to happen, you'd usually have it inside of here. The main important thing in the script is just we're going to initialize the module script, because if you don't initialize a module script, then it will never run. And also do this once just at the top here, because this is going to randomize the seed every single time a new server starts up, so it's not always going to be the same type of weather on start. And that's important because I'll show you how the weather is actually done. If you're trying to learn scripting faster and want a bit more guidance, the channel membership might be perfect for you. There are 3 tiers depending on how much support you want. The first tier is a cheaper option for people who just want some casual support. You can ask scripting questions and get help if you're stuck. The second tier is focused on tutorials on this channel. You get extra code and additional help for the systems that I show in my videos. And the third tier gives you the full scripts from my tutorials, along with extra tips and explanations that don't always make it into the videos. Now, for the main bulk of the server side, it will be this one, the weather handler module script. I'll go through all of these. At the top, we've got replicator storage, as usual. Lighting, yep, makes sense. Then we've got the 2 remotes, which we added inside of replicator storage remotes for on-join and for the weather. And you'll see why this on-join remote is important when I get to the effects side of things. Now, weather data is the module that we made here. So we want to require this, and we're going to store it inside of this variable. So now whenever I call weather data, it's going to be equal to this entire table. So I'll know all of the information for all the different weather effects, and I can just change them very easily by referencing them, like the cover and stuff like that. A variable for the current weather, a variable for the current weather time left. This is also important. And here's for the day-night cycle. So the day length is, I believe this is in seconds, and the time interval is in seconds as well. The day increment is 24 divided by the day length, so 24 hours divided by this. And here we have the table for the chances of different weather effects. So each different type of weather has a chance to happen after the previous one has ended. So for example, sunny has a 40% chance of happening. Cloudy has a 10% chance. Partially cloudy and cloudy, they both have a 10% chance. Rain has a 20% chance. Foggy has 10, snow has 10. So this means it will be somewhat randomized for which effect is going to happen whenever the previous one has finished. This module was just to test, as I mentioned before, when a player joins, so you can ignore this one. And you may notice that this one's functional module.test, and these other ones are not module functions. The reason we put this in a module is because it will be helpful if you decide in the future to add something that you'd need to use outside of the script. But for this scenario, we don't really have to, since it's only the weather system. Then we've got this function here to generate the actual random weather. So we're going to do local roll is equal to math.random. And this is how we get the random weather type that will happen. So then we do a loop. We loop inside of the ordered weather, and we do the weather type, comma threshold is equal to data 1, data 2. So that means weather type is going to be equal to sunny or partially cloudy or whichever one we are on, and data 2 is going to be equal to the chance of it or the number of it. And that's important because then we're going to do the check to see if what we rolled here in the math.random is less than or equal to the threshold. If the threshold is bigger, so threshold is higher up, then that's the weather type that we rolled. And we're returning the weather type and the roll. Now I do have a second function here, which is just the same as this one, pretty much. I did have something else in here, but I decided to remove it because it wasn't needed. So if you decide to add anything else inside of here, that's up to you. Or you can just kind of completely remove this and just use this one. But then you'd have to edit out inside of this next function. I'll explain. So this is to actually change the type, the function to change the type, the weather that will happen. And we just store the new weather inside of a variable, and it's going to be equal to the get new weather, which is the result of this. So whatever math.random decided to pick. Then we loop inside of the weather data, which is our module, and we do if the index is equal to the new weather, which means if this one here, the index would be this. If this one is equal to, let me go back. If the index is equal to the new weather that we rolled, then that's just a print. You can ignore that. The current weather time left will be equal to the v, the weather duration. What that means is, let's say it rolled on cloudy, it would be cloudy, and the v, the weather duration, would be this. so it would be equal to 3, meaning current weather time left would be equal to 3. The current weather then becomes the new weather. We can print it, that's just a check. And then we're going to fire to all the clients. This is for the effects, and I will show you that in just a moment. Now, this is a constant loop, and we do task.spawn, so if you decide to add anything else after it, it won't interfere with it, because it is a loop, so it would stop everything that happens after it. Now, we're going to constantly loop every second, which is the time interval up here, every second, and make sure you keep the time interval at 1 second, because otherwise the current weather time left will be going down by 1, but the time isn't going down by 1, so it's not going to match. But yeah, basically when the weather time reaches 0, then it will change the type. It will just fire this function, and the new weather type will have happened. And also we do some lighting stuff here to change the clock time, which is how the day and night cycle actually works. But yeah, this is just the math to handle the day and night cycle. But yeah, now back to this. So basically what we are going to do for the effects is when the weather type changes, we're going to fire to the client, and it fire all clients, so it fires to everyone. And we send through the weather that was chosen. I'll use rain as an example. So we're going to fire through rain, and then the current weather time left, which for rain is 3. But that's the same for all of them right now. You can change it yourself, of course. And then we go inside of here, the client script, the local script inside of start to player scripts. I'll go through this. So, of course, at the top we want to have the services, so replicator storage, tween service, and lighting. Then we have weather effects and clouds. Clouds, as I mentioned before, we added inside of the terrain, and weather effects are, well, the folder with the weather effects, the rain and the snow. Then the 2 remotes, and then the weather data again. Of course we need this. And then we've got the main function, which is local function weather effect. And this is going to handle basically everything for the effect side of things. In here we want the new weather and the remaining time, which we're going to receive from the server. That's why we send that through. What we do is we loop through the weather data as we did in the server script, and we do if the index is equal to the new weather. That's the exact same thing as before. So if the index, cloudy, rain, foggy, so on, is equal to the new weather, then first thing we check if it has sound. If v.has sound, then, so basically it means if it's rain, because this one has sound true. If it has sound, then it will play the v.sound log, which is this log. There we go. Play. So this is the location of the sound. It will play that. So yeah, it's very simple for the sound. Then we've got the tweens. Now for the tweens, these are also relatively simple. They're just copy pastes for each other. How a tween works is you do tween service :create, then brackets, and you do the thing that you want to tween. So for this one it's the clouds, the other one is the lighting, and so on. Then we do comma tween info.new, then the duration of the tween. So you could stop moving me. Then you do another comma. Then you do curly brackets, and this is the thing that you actually want to tween, so the cover itself, which means inside of the terrain, I go to clouds, and then down in the properties, we've got the cover. So that's the thing that we're going to be tweening. And we're tweening the current value that it's on to the value inside of v.cover. So rain as an example again, it will be tweening the current cover value inside of the properties here to 1, because that's what rain has it set to. And then play. And you can see the rest are all the same, but we're just tweening different things. So you can just read through this and see what we're actually changing. Now, we get to the effects part. So if it's snow or rain, then, or you can add whichever other ones you have for effects. We're going to do another loop. So we're going to loop through the workspace weather effect I. And this basically means we're going to be looping through either rain or snow, depending on whichever one we currently have. Get children, which basically just means get all of the particles inside of it, and make sure you don't have any attachments and the particles are inside the attachments, because this is only get children, it's not get descendants. Here we check if it's a particle emitter or if it's not a particle emitter, and if it's not, then we return end. But if it is a particle emitter, Then we turn it on. VVV.enabled, which just means particle emitter enabled. Then we do a task.delay, remaining time, and it's important you do remaining time. I'll get to that. And then same thing as before, you do a loop and you set it to false, so it turns off. Now, to get to the point where we have remaining time and this other stuff, the reason why we have remaining time is because if someone joins late, so say there's already rain happening and someone joins after, because the rain's not happening on the server, you need to fire to the client to tell the player that the rain is actually happening, because all of the rain is only happening on the player's clients. None of it is happening on the server, so we can save on performance and stuff. So when the player joins, you want to fire to the client from the join remote, as you can see here, which is why I had that test before inside of here to fire this when the player joins. So you do want to have something like this where you don't want the while true do at all. You just want when the player joins, you want to fire this. Okay, so remove all of this and only keep the weather handler .test. That's what mine's called, but you don't have to call it that. So you just, what you're basically firing is let me find it. There we go. It's this one. So what we're doing is fire client, player, current weather time. When the player joins, you want to just do this once because you only need to do it once to find out what the current weather type is. But yeah, the final two things that we've got inside of the client script. It's just the remote receiving. So for the weather remote, for the normal one, and then for the join remote, in case you joined after there's already a weather effect happening. So it's just weather remote on client event connect function, the new weather and the remaining time, same as the other one, and we just fire this function with the information that we received from the server. Same thing for the other one, complete same thing. And yeah, that is pretty much everything.